Hey guys, welcome back. This is Ankur. So we are meeting again after a short break. So first of all, I want to wish everyone a belated Diwali. I hope all of you are doing good and you had a great fun and frolic time with all of your family members. So in this particular video, we will be covering about the aggregator module. Aggregator module is like one of its kind which is being recently being launched with Mule 4. I think 4.1.1 onwards this aggregator module is available, but from 4.3 onwards we can see a lot many improvements on top of it. So as we follow the trend, we will first discuss about the concept first, what it is all about, and then we will deep dive into the use cases. So aggregator module. So aggregator module is like a different type of aggregators which will be capable of storing values and releasing them together based on the configuration specified. It is a component which is being used to collect the values until a particular condition is met. Then it will execute a processor's chain with a list of aggregated elements as the payload. So here we are talking about different type of aggregators. There are basically three categories of aggregators. We will be discuss them in some couple of slides. So the basic aggregator configuration consists of definition of the value to aggregate, and it can be extracted from the payload like as we do for in the transform message as well, like how we can access the different parts of a particular payload, and a condition which defines when the aggregation is considered to be a complete in its entity, and a processor chain that executes once this aggregation condition is being met. It is basically a pass-through router, which means same message that is processed by the aggregator is going to be processed by the rest of the components that follow it. The only modification are the addition of some message attributes that provide information about the aggregation. We will be discussing all these points very shortly. So as I mentioned earlier, there are certain types of aggregators available. So first is the size based, second is the time based, and the third one is the group based. We will be covering the demonstration part of it, but just to give you a brief about the configuration part, let's quickly jump to the next slide. So general configuration, it will require something from the object store. It will require some content on which it will decide the aggregation, incremental aggregate, and the final aggregate completion route. So incremental, it will be the component chain to execute every new element that is aggregated. The payload is the list of all the elements that have been aggregated from the first one till the very last of the element is being reached. Once the complete list is being traversed, it is being considered as a aggregation complete route, and it will follow the rest of the processors or any logic which we have written in the aggregation complete route part. So where is this information of this aggregated incremental aggregation will be saved? It will be saved in this very particular object store. And as we know, there are two different options available. We can have a persistent object store, or we can have the in-memory object store. Same logic of object store storage, like default will be the persistent object store, and if we are going with the in-memory, it will be faster, but there is a risk if the application gets restarted, we can lose all of the data. So this was a very brief about the general configuration. Let's go to the studio. So this is the Anypoint Studio 7.7, that is the latest one, and let me show you. So this is the 7.7, the latest one. I have already created one of the video which talks about what are the different capabilities of this new 7.7 version of Studio. Have a look on that. and we will be using Mule 4.3.0 for this particular use case. So by default, this aggregator module will not be available in your selected payload list. So how to look at that? You have to just search an exchange, click on search an exchange, and you have to log in with your username password, same as that of the Anypoint platform credentials, and then you have to search with aggregator, hit enter, and you have to select it and put it on the right hand side, and just finish it off. Okay, after that, this particular aggregator will be appearing on your selected palette list. As you can notice, under the scopes and routers, it is showing me three categories, that is size, time, and group based, and there is an aggregator listener which is independent of these three scopes, which means aggregator listener will be working independently of the type of the these particular aggregators. So let's try to understand more in depth. We will be first covering about the size based aggregator. So in order to do that, you have to just drag and drop this size based aggregator onto the canvas, and this particular configuration will open up. The first part is the incremental aggregation, which we have already discussed, and the second part will be the aggregation complete. So now let me walk through you the complete configuration of this size based aggregator. There is a HTTP listener which I have configured, which is listening on 8081, and in the advanced tab you can see it is a post method. I am setting a variable name as person name, which is picking up the value of payload dot person name. It will basically a JSON structure, and I will be picking up the person name out of it and saving it in a variable name as person name. After that, I have configured this size based aggregator. Now it says the maximum size of this particular size based aggregator will be 5, and timeout, it will time out after -1 second. -1 second, like it is infinite, it will not time out at all. But in order to specify any specific setting, you can change it to any value, but don't use 0 because it will not make any sense. -1 is for infinite or unlimited time, but better to use if you are putting any non-negative or positive value greater than 0, then you have to change this timeout unit accordingly. For this particular use case, I will be more interested in showing you the scope of this max size, what it is all about. Okay, and this name is very specific, so use it accordingly, because this need to be unique in its nature. Reason being, I will be using the same name in the aggregator listener as well. So I will be coming to the configuration of this very shortly. Let's finish it off this first. In the advanced tab, you can configure the object store. So if you are not specifying anything, again going back to our slide, you can see the default is persistent object store, and it is taking care of that. Okay, and once it is being done, I have set up two particular paths for the incremental aggregation. I have put a particular logger which is printing like this particular statement, vas.personname, and it is also checking the status of aggregation scope. So during the processing of this size based aggregator, it will give this particular attribute is aggregation complete. So if the value of this is false, then it means it is not complete, and if it is true, then automatically it will jump to this particular route of aggregation complete. In the aggregation complete path, you can have any logic in these two routes depending on your use case, but for this particular demonstration purpose, I have used two loggers. In the first, I have just printed down the vas.personname, and in the second, I am just printing it the value whether it is being completed or not. That is the status of aggregation scope. Now, once this part is being executed, or you can see the condition is of max size 5 is being matched, then it will be available for this aggregator listener. In the configuration, you can see the same person name aggregator is being used, which I have configured in this size based aggregator. So that's why I was saying, like, you have to be very particular, like you are using the same name. So I have used the same and mentioned it over here. This particular option of include timeout group is to make sure even in the case of any timeouts, it is picking up those particular result set as well. I will be covering this particular use case as well in one of the use case as well. After that, I am putting a transform message just to convert the received payload into the JSON, and finally printing the logger payload. So this was all about the size based aggregator. Let's try to run it. I'm running this project now. In the meanwhile, when it gets loaded, I will quickly jump to my Postman and look out for this size based aggregator. So this should be the size based aggregator. Let me check the path. So this is the same size based aggregator. We should be good. Yep. So I'm just waiting for this application to deployed. Yes, it is now deployed. I will clear up the console and I will just bear this thing in mind, like it will wait for size of 5 incoming payload. Okay, so let me quickly put down some values. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And now let's jump to our console and let's see what it is printing over here. So first value, it is printing from the incremental aggregation, that is I think this particular value, right? Printing from the incremental aggregation, and ves.person name it is printing. Okay, and this particular status of aggregation scope that is being printed from this second logger, it is showing as false. Similarly for 2, 3, 4, and as soon as it reaches the fifth size or the fifth person name, the status of aggregation scope gets converted to true. That is, if you look at this particular thing, it is after it is being set to true, it is going towards printing from the aggregator listener view. This means it is now reached up to this particular flow. It has aggregated all these 5. Now this is about the size based aggregator. In order to understand it in a more better way, I would really suggest you to go through the official documentation of MuleSoft. So let me search with doc.mulesoft.com and I will try to locate docs. Is it docs? Yes, it is docs. I will search on this search docs and I will look out for aggregators module 4, Mule 4, and as I mentioned, it is available for Mule 4.1.1 or later versions. I will go to the aggregators example. Not the example, I will go for the module reference because it will talk about the size based aggregator basically. So here it is talking about the attributes and all the different configuration. So this is all about the content, what we want to aggregate, the maximum size, that is we have configured as 5, the timeout value, the maximum time to wait for the aggregation to complete. Value of 0 is not supported to avoid timing out the group constantly. Even if you are setting a minus any value which is not making relevant case, I think it should give an error out of it. Yeah, so if the max size is or timeout is having invalid value, then it will give aggregator config error exception. And if there is an issue with the object store access, then also it will throw this particular exception. Okay, that is object store access problem will be raised. And object store default object store partition will be used. So that's why if I haven't mentioned anything, it is going for this default setting. Aggregation complete, it will be component change to execute once the aggregation is complete, as we have already seen this particular thing. And the incremental aggregation route, that is for the components change to execute. And you can make any logic out of it. You can put any business logic based on your use case. So that was a very brief introduction about the aggregator modules and one of the use case for size based aggregator. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.